Hey, welcome to Wednesday night. Hopefully everything's working. Sometimes I don't know. It's hard to tell because for some reason stuff changes from week to week. So, good. Okay, audio's good. Nice. Jeremiah, actually I have some news about that. So, Wednesday night, this is questions and answers. I've got A-Sun 5, Canon C50, I don't have anything specific other than I have some news about my 4Runner. But other than that, ask questions. I'll answer in the chat as best I can, and we will, go from there. If you haven't seen my reel that I posted, actually, let me see if I can do that real quick. On Instagram, I'll play it for you here. There we go. This is the next video that's coming. Oh, wait, that's not working. Hold on. Sorry. That was way too big. Let's see. Can I do that? Okay. I gotta do a real quick this. Open with that. I forgot I exported this in 4K, which anyway, drone shots, H4 services, Paul. So you guys are all in here. Nice to have you all. And let me see, that was fast. Of course, it's also very quick. Where did I put it? All right, let me see if I can export it real quick. TLM Outdoors, Mark H. How do I like the waveform on the C50 compared to the R5 Mark II? I like it a lot. I like the cinema features of the C50. It's really great. Not to say that I can, I could go without it on the C50 or on the R5 Mark II. Totally can. It's just, oops, can't do that one. It's just the cinema features are really nice. Like they do make a difference on especially on things like waveform and stuff like that. Whoops, not that. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. This shouldn't take long to export because it's a short file. So I like it a lot. B&H has reduced the price of the Mavic 4 Creator to $4,000. That's not bad, Gary. That's getting to be close to a better deal. Actually, that's not bad at all. Okay, let me see here. Desktop. Oh my gosh, where is it? And why is it not showing up here? Is it just the program? No. Okay, where did I put? Jeez. Where is it going? Let's try this one more time. Hey, Bob Casey. What was the brand of the wide-angle lens adapter for the Mavic 4 Pro? Was it K&F? I did get the K&F one, and that's the one I would recommend. It's better. I think that's the one I've linked in the video now. But it's the exact same as everything else, but K&F has their version has a little bit better hold on. Oh, that's where it went. Okay, never mind. I did export it correctly. I just need to pull it from the right spot. They're just a little better. So I updated my link to put the K&F one in there because it's a little bit better. All right, let's go back to this there. And it's the same as what I showed you in that video. So if you looked at it's not bad. The distortion's not bad. Let's see. Picked up Mavic 3 Pro Cine combo at B&H for $2,700. David, that is a fantastic deal. Really good. 107 drones. Hey, hey. I'm trying to go. How long till I hit 400K? Okay, Jeremiah. So, should we start there? Or should I wait a minute and tell you about my 4Runner? I might wait just a minute here. Let me catch up and then we'll jump into my 4Runner. Opening images. I need to update those opening images. Those are old. Those are all like 3 or 4 years old now. Thanks, Bob Casey. Appreciate you helping. Very sluggish video. Gary, I think that might have been on my end because I was trying to do stuff with Final Cut, which I should not be doing. So let me close Final Cut here. There we go. And then the only other thing I'm doing right now is importing 2,000 photos into Lightroom. Oh, let me actually close that down and see what happens here. There we go. Okay, so my video should come back to life here because I was dropping a lot of frames. And it was because Lightroom was trying to import 2,000 photos from the Aurora display over the last couple nights. So that will be a video coming soon. Low light astrophotography with the A7 IV. And yes, I went out. So, okay, so I fixed the leggy video. Did someone say 4Runner? Saul Martinez? Yes, someone did. I drive a 4Runner. It currently has 385,000 miles on it. And, yeah. All right. Did you ever feel like the buttons on the A7 IV, A7R5 kind of mushy? A little bit. There, but I find mine are, the A7 V at least I feel pretty good. James Precious sounds fine. Video super junk. Okay, so the video should be good now, right? Yeah, I forgot that Lightroom was trying to upload 2,000 photos of stars in the Aurora from the A7 V. I don't know why I do this stuff at when I'm starting to stream, but you know, whatever. Mavic 4 Pro is cheaper. Mine showed. Jeremiah, when did you order yours? Was it recently? I'm curious. Was it since December 23rd of 2025? But I think you got yours earlier, right? Okay, good. Video's good now. Sweet. Okay. So, let's start with the 4Runner. I was hoping to drive my 4Runner to 500,000 miles. And is the operative word there. So I had a small oil leak. I took it into a shop that I really trust. And they're great Toyota guys. But it's a little small independent shop. And had them look at it, and they found some pretty significant frame rust, very significant frame rust. So I'm going to be in the market for a new 4Runner this year, as opposed to 2 or 3 years from now, when I was hopefully going to hit 500,000 miles on mine. So, which is a bummer, because I love my 4Runner. It's been a fantastic car. That thing has taken me all over the place. Obviously, it's to the moon and halfway back, or a little over halfway back, distance-wise. Fantastic. So it's a bummer, especially because I just finally got it, I finally got it. It's built out now to where I just exactly the way I really, really like it. That being said, there are a couple of things that I would like about getting a newer 4Runner, heated seats being one of them. It would be really nice. And, then it's the opportunity to get another 4Runner to 300,000 miles. I am not a fan of Jeeps, H4 Services. Everybody I know that has Jeeps is fixing them a lot. And my 4Runner is just... anyway, so the plan is now I'm going to start looking for a 2023, 2024 TRD Pro or TRD Off-Road maybe. I'd prefer to get the TRD Pro if I can. Off-Road would be fine too. And as low miles as I can get, so probably between 20 and 50,000 miles, which on a Toyota is nothing, but just the newer I can get, the better. The reason I don't want to get like a 2025 4Runner is they switched the powertrain to a twin-turbo V4 over the standard aspirated V6, and they switched to a different transmission. And so far, the Tacomas that have that engine and transmission in there are having, enough of them are having issues that gives me pause to wait just a bit and let that powertrain work itself out. So, James Precious, agreed. Like, and just the other day I was driving it out for that ice cave video with the OM camera, and it was the areas I was driving through were like 50 below zero. That is hard on cars, and that's not the only time I've driven through extremely harsh temperatures or extremely harsh terrain. I've driven that to as far north as you can drive to in Alaska a couple of times in the winter and in the summertime, several times. And frankly, I'm kind of surprised the thing has lasted this long. I just drove it to Cantwell, 400 miles overnight to do aurora pictures, which is, a ways, and it's cold. And so that thing has been a beast. That 4Runner has been a beast. And sadly, it's time to retire it and get something new. So that's the plan right now. It's like a 2023, 2024 4Runner with, 20 something, whatever, the lowest miles I can find. TRD off-road, premium or pro, because those are the two that have, heated seats. And then I will slowly start to kind of do similar stuff that I did on mine currently, where I'm, put the drawers and shelf stuff in the back. I'll do videos about all of this because it'll be part of the process. And the 4Runner is almost like a character on my channel now. To make it into my mobile production rig and all of that. And so while I'm both disappointed, I'm also kind of excited, kind of happy about it. The one, Jeremiah, exactly. So I'm looking in Arizona, I'm looking Texas, and maybe Southern California, but I'm not so sure about California. But Arizona for sure is high on the list of places that I'm looking. And I have friends in Arizona that I could go down and like crash on the couch with while I pick it up and stuff like that. And then there was already a plan to drive with my brother and my dad several vehicles back to Alaska in May. So now it'll be several vehicles and probably my new 4Runner. And because I will be down in the lower 48 in the area while I'm picking these things up, I will also be doing things like picking up the roof rack and several other things that, for me to get stuff like roof racks up here or anything large like that, it is prohibitively expensive because of shipping costs. It's insanely expensive. So I will be picking up as much of that kind of stuff down in the lower 48 as I can to save, because basically like I probably pay for my gas to Alaska on saving on shipping. And generally 4Runners down there are less expensive than here. Alaska kind of has a $5,000 to $10,000 premium Alaska price on any four-wheel drive vehicle. So that alone will save me enough money to fly down and pay for the gas up, which will probably be around $1,500 in gas to drive it up. So, but yeah, so I'm both really sad and disappointed because that fourth gen for my 4Runner has been an incredible car. It has been awesome. But then I'm also like, okay, well, it will be nice to have a slightly quieter car, like better sound deadening. It'll be nice to have heated seats. Really nice to have heated seats. And some of that, the creature comforts that have come in the newer 4Runners. And yeah, things like crawl control. And the other reason I'm doing TRD or TRD off-road or pro is you get the locking differential. And that I do use that on mine quite a bit, oddly enough. So, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to park mine because my youngest son really wants a 4Runner. He really wanted my 4Runner, and I had to break the news to him that he wasn't going to end up with my 4Runner because of the rust on the frame. But then I think what we're going to do for him, because he's got one more year till he gets his driver's license, is we're going to watch for a good 2007, 2008, or 2009 V8 4th Gen 4Runner and buy that. And then we can take all the stuff that I've done to mine, basically, well, almost all of the stuff, and then swap it over. The roof rack, the light bars, the stuff I've done inside and all that will all transfer over to that one, and then that'll be his car. So, because honestly, like I've even considered seeing if I can find a V8 4Runner and just swapping out to that, because the V8 4Runners are just beasts. I wish they would put a V8 4Runner in a V8 in the newer 4Runners, but they don't. So, Anyway, sad news. My 385,000 mile 4Runner is only going to go for a little bit longer. And then, yeah, I'll have to start that clock over, which I'm also kind of excited about. Not going to lie. So, man, of all times for my nail to just decide to shred itself. Okay, so Jeremiah, you ordered yours 3,600 shipped? Oh, okay. I'm just curious now if anybody's ordering them through eBay and they're still getting in, because I've heard that customs is locking down harder on any DJI stuff, because in their mind they're like, they're banned, even though the currently approved ones are fine. I don't know. All right, so next video coming on the channel is a C50. One of the biggest things that they've done in this camera and a couple of the other newer cameras is they've now included gyro data, which is something that Sony started doing in 2020. Canon's doing the gyro data thing too. So that means that this camera, which has a fixed sensor, can now be stabilized in post. And holy crap, the difference that it makes is insane. A lot of people were like, that doesn't have IBIS and all that. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. But if you use a lens with lens stabilization, it's actually not that bad. But check out the difference between, with this camera, the C50, Canon C50, using GyroFlow to stabilize it in post. So no image stabilization at all on the one side, and then the stabilized in post on the other side. I'll let you guess which one is stabilized and which one isn't, but it might be difficult to tell. But yeah, so the GyroFlow, it's not quite in the normal version yet. I had to get the developer build of the current version, and then only certain lenses are supported. For one of the lenses that I was using here, the 10-20 f4, I had to create my own lens profile, which, by the way, it did a great job. GyroFlow is super easy to create a lens profile compared to other stabilization programs I've used. GyroFlow is amazing. They've done an incredible job on GyroFlow for being a public source thing. And yes, it is intense. Ripping a brand new camera to me on a cinema drone, on an FPV drone over open water in, single digit temperatures. I'm always kind of like, so did I do a good job stabilizing or building this drone or not? Did I do programming it? Like, did I do a good job tuning it? Because I sure hope so. And then I double check and make sure my insurance is paid up on the camera, and we call it good. So, anyway, pretty dang impressive, right? Like, I'm so excited about the fact that Canon has done that. I wish they had done it just a little earlier, because the whole project that I shot with IMAX this summer on another Canon cinema camera, an 8K 60, had to be stabilized in post through a whole other process, because I had to record the gyro data separately, and it just, oh my gosh. Now that it's included, built into the camera, and I'm able to just pull it off the camera and stabilize it. And even though GyroFlow doesn't support Canon RAW yet, I guess they're working on that, you can do kind of this weird proxy system where you can, if you're working in DaVinci Resolve or any of the editing programs that have the GyroFlow plugin, you can work with it. You can, it's hard to explain. Anyway, you basically put the Canon RAW in DaVinci Resolve, export a 265 file out of it, pull that into GyroFlow, take the Canon RAW, and you can import the gyro data out of Canon RAW into there to synchronize and stabilize the H.265 file, and then you can take and then apply those settings to the Canon RAW file in DaVinci. And so it's a whole big workaround for now. But I've been in touch. I've talked to the GyroFlow developers, and they are working on being able to support Canon RAW natively, like they do now with Red RAW natively, which is super, super awesome. So, okay, so yeah, if you know of any really, really good deals on a V8 4Runner that is below the Rust Belt, so California, Arizona, maybe Southern Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, that area there, I'll be keeping my eyes open for one, and then I'm looking for a good. What color should I get? That was the other thing. I was like, holy crap! Now I got to decide on what color. And on the one hand, Toyota makes this. Let me see if I can find one here. It's Solar Red. I think that's the name of it. No, that's not the one. Oops. Because I was like, well, it'd be very on brand for me to have a bright red, bright orange Toyota 4Runner. And in 2024, Toyota made, where is it? Is it this one? Let's see. It's not that one. It's not that one. Come on. There it is. There it is. In 2024, Toyota made a red orange 4Runner that is so bright red. Oh, I don't have that plugged in. I could plug my phone in directly. But it is almost exactly the same color as my Arc'teryx jacket. So I was like, oh, they didn't make a lot of them, but they made a few. And I was like, man, that'd be kind of sweet because it would really stand out in road shots, right? Like when I'm driving along the road and stuff. I mean, that thing would pop. So we'll see. It was only the 2024 TRD Pro model that was available in that color. It's like Solera red or something like that. And Army green, Jeremiah. You're biased. I do like some of the like earthy gray and or earthy green that they made. That there's a couple of those colors that I really like. But that, and there was like 2020 or 2019 they made one that was a pretty bright blue also. And it's like, and then I'm like, well, or go back to my standard black, which is hard to keep clean and all that. But I do like the new green color. So yeah, Paul. And by the way, Paul, you said I should name the new 4Runner. I actually was going to like put it out there somehow, like a poll or whatever, and take suggestions for the name for my current 4Runner. Now that I know my current 4Runner is not going to be with me much longer, I'll have to do it for the new 4Runner. I'll have to name it something. And I would like to get you all involved in that, in how to name it, what to name it, because it's going to be, I mean, it will be a big part of my channel. So, H4 Services, you can't believe you're down here in Florida with heated seats that I've been doing without. Yeah, buddy. It's, I'm not going to say that I haven't many times gone, what would it take for me to put heated seats in this thing? Not like a cover, but like actually, pull the seats apart, which I've done to replace one of the cushions already. I'm like, what would it take me to put a heated seats in here? Anyway. Let's see. TLM Outdoors, you get Jeeps pushed and pulled out too much. That's what I see too. And yeah. So, and then like, should I put a winch on the new one? Like okay, I'm trying to decide like how much I should do. I do want to put like the small kind of low profile C4 bumper in there that has a light down low and has place for a winch as well. Cause I like that. I do. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot to think about. But yeah. Let's see. Mark H, what's the best hand warmers for keeping my hands, your gear warm when it's -10? So I use either the disposable hand warmers, the ones hot hands, you like open them up and they just warm up. A lot of those, but that, or I use a lot of those Zippo. They're electric and they're like, let me see if I can pull an Amazon link for you. I use a crap ton of these. And partly I use a crap ton because Costco, I don't think this is an affiliate link. Wait, do I have I think I have an affiliate link for this. Costco was selling 2-packs for like $30, and I bought several of them because they're rechargeable. And when you have that many in your bag, you can kind of just leave them on the lowest heat setting, and they keep everything nice and toasty. But the other thing that I like about them is, so these are what I use, Mark. I use like 6 to 8 of these, depending on what I'm doing. The other thing I like about them is that you can crank the heat up, like crank it up to level 3, and if you hold them, it just pushes heat into your fingers. So they're nice. I like those a lot. If you're just doing hand warmers for your hands, then Zippo makes it's like a small flat-ish thing that is actually like butane powered. I think it's butane powered. And that's too bright. I think there we go. And those will keep your hands warm for like 8 hours and put out a lot of heat if you want them to. So those are the two things that I do. Jeremiah, a 2020 plus. See, that's what I'm thinking too. So that's why I'm really going. Like I'm looking at. I was talking with my wife about it after I got the bad news, and the poor shop owner. He's like, dude, He's a super cool guy. He's really into Toyotas too, and he calls me up and he's like, because I basically have a really slow leak at the lower camshaft, and it's like a quarter of a quart of oil every 5,000 miles. It's almost nothing, but it's just bugging me. And but he calls me up and he's like, I am so sorry. And I wish I had better news for you. He's like, but your frame has got like, he's like, honestly, like it's months left before it becomes a serious issue. He's like, you can drive it for a few more months if you're careful. He's like, but if you get in an accident, like it could, cause major problems, like not protect the car the way it should and stuff like that. I'm like, I got it. I understand. And he was so apologetic. He was so disappointed because he could tell, like, I really like my car. Obviously, by the way, I've taken care of it and stuff. And then it was just like, dude, it is 385,000 miles of driving in the harshest conditions on the planet, just about. At least some of the harshest conditions on the planet. He's like, I just told him, I was like, I made the decision like 4 years ago that I was going to drive this thing till it died. And if I was able to get it to 500,000 miles, then awesome. If not, like, I was like, honestly, it's kind of exciting because now I get to start a new build, put a new car together, and get the creature comforts of like heated seats and all of that. He was like, yeah. Anyway, so then I went and picked it up, and he's like, here's the keys, and like we're talking a little bit and stuff because he's like, are you gonna think like maybe you'll get another one and just transfer everything over? I was like, maybe. I said, but if I do that, I'm definitely getting the V8 version because it has a lot more power. And those V8s are like bulletproof engines so long as you change the timing belts every 100,000 miles. Those are like the 1,000,000-mile engine that Toyota built that I wish they would still put in 4Runners. It's so irritating because those engines regularly, like, I mean, tons of them have gotten over 1,000,000 miles. Anyway, I guess I should have named this like Jake's car discussion night or something like that. But I was like, but dude, honestly, like I've been thinking I probably need to get a newer one in the next year or two anyway, because my youngest son's driving or gonna want to get his license and stuff. And I'm kind of excited to start a new build anyway. And then he goes, well, would you want to part this one out? Like if you don't get a V8 and transfer everything over? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, honestly, he's like 3 or 4 of the guys here in the shop are kind of like, if we could get it for a good price, they would do a frame swap. And shipping a frame up, it's like it's not worth it to do for me because I would also have to pay them for like 2 days, 48 hours, 50 hours of work to frame swap. He's like, but if it's his guys and they're doing it on their own time when they've got access to lifts and shop tools and all that, he's like, they might be interested in doing that. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that, and then the engine and transmission will live on with a new frame or something. But for me, it would be like, I don't know, a lot of money. What is 48 times? it'd be like $12,000, $14,000 or something like that, because I'd be paying for shop time too. So anyway, I definitely getting another 4Runner, 2023, 2024, as low miles as I can get. I just got to figure out which color I want to get or try to get, and then I'll start the building process over again with some definite big upgrades. Like Jeremiah, you're saying the 2020 Plus is when they did all the refresh with everything. Yeah, that's what I want, because I'm looking at it going, I've driven this 4Runner for 20 years. I am likely going to drive the next 4Runner for 20 years. So, like, it's just the next one I'm going to get and build it out sooner. It took me like 15 years or 16 years, 17 years to go, I'm never going to sell this car. Why am I not building it into the car that I want, instead of like trying to just keep it stock? So anyway, next one. So, okay, it's getting cold in Minnesota. I hear that, Mark. Sorry. Gordon, love 4Runners. Typically last almost forever. Your favorite truck was a 1982 Land Cruiser. Oh, Land Cruisers are beasts. I think they were all built to last 500,000 miles. Looking for the name the name for the new 4Runner. Yeah, so, like, should I... I'll just plug this in. What do you guys think? Should I try for the Scalera Orange, whatever that name of that, clearly a thing named by Toyota. Let me see if I can find the... Oh, I gotta do this. Which... That's not it. Oh, maybe it was 2023. That's the Terra. Okay, maybe it was 2023 that had that, like... There it is. Solar Octane. That's the one. Should I try and get a Solar Octane? All right, let me pull this up. Because, like, this is... Wait, did I put that in the right one? Yeah. Oh, come on. All right, let me do this. And then we can do this and this. Oh, that's why. I forgot I had this on. Okay, there we go. Should I get a 400 that color? It's so bright, but it matches my jacket. It matches my jacket so good, and I really kind of like it. And like TLM Outdoors, exactly. It would look amazing in drone. Like, you would see it so clearly in drone stuff. And honestly, like, that color with black badging and like everything else is black, like, it looks pretty sweet. And then I guess I should come off that. And then I was like, I think I might do, I maybe would do like a topo map kind of overlay with like black pinstripes or something, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. So, all right. I'm going to see if I can get caught up on chats here. Where were we? Levi Lopez, where did I learn photography? I learned it when I was really young. I worked, it's like 18, 19. I worked for a National Geographic photographer, helping him like do data entry and cull slides and stuff from when he would come back from Africa and places, doing Nat Geo assignments and stuff like that. And then I worked and bumped into other very well-known photographers because I was in Alaska. And I just kind of always picked their brains. So, and then I just did a lot of trial and error with cameras. So, yep. Always learn. Listen to Solus. What's a good video editing app for making videos? If you're looking for an app for like iPhone or, like that kind of stuff, CapCut is really good on phones. If you're looking for like on a computer, I highly recommend the free version of DaVinci Resolve. It's fantastic. H4 Services favorite flash trigger. Honestly, I do no flash stuff at all. So I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. I'm really not on that. Peter McLennan, never heard the phrase. So they literally will take everything off of the old 4Runner and then put it on a new frame. There's a shop in Arizona that does this specifically on 4Runners. They have frames from places in Arizona that are rust-free, and then they take 4Runners from places where they get a lot of rust and swap them out. So you get basically brand new. And you can get brand new frames from Toyota. Just up here, it would cost, thousands of dollars to freight ship a whole frame up here, and it's just not worth it. But yeah. Let's see. Alan Zarpy. Anyway, love the channel. Do you think the Mavic 4 blows the still image quality of the Air 3 and Air 3S away? You have the Air 3 and the video is solid, but stills are not great. I do. The Mavic 4 has just really beautiful image quality. Especially if you shoot in the 25 megapixel mode, because you get the higher dynamic range. It really has beautiful image quality. I do have the video where I compare the Mavic 4 and Air 3S, and I do go into their photo, comparisons side by side and stuff. So, yeah. H4 Services would be cool to have a 4Runner that matches the Jake Sloan trademark jacket. I wish it was a trademark. I should call up Arc'teryx and be like, hey, trademark this jacket is mine. It's the Jake Sloan special. Maybe when I have 1 million subscribers or whatever. So, Lawn Dinner, you're in the shower listening. Wish people would stop focusing on FCC BS. Actual today problem is the custom situation. I agree 100%, Lawn. That is the biggest problem, is that we can't get any currently approved anything into the state. In fact, I just put out a bid on a job. I was asked to bid on a job for a large, for a cruise company. Not the ship company, but a cruise company. And when I put the bid out, I was like, listen, this is the deal. Like, you wanting me to use this drone that I have, the Inspire 3. I'm like, but I have to start charging a premium because I have one, and there's no repairs, there's no replacements. Like, maybe I could get a replacement, but they're very few, and it's a massive issue now, and it's all because of the stupid custom stuff. And I have a buddy whose drone is stuck in customs, and they're like, we are not going to release it because it's no longer allowed in the United States, because the FCC, they quoted the FCC ban of December 23rd. And it's like, no, they are. FCC approved drones, everything is still approved. But customs, between the Uyghur Slave Labor Act, it's a mess. So, Lon, you're 100% right. The customs issue is the issue that really we have to fight that battle now. What the heck just happened? Am I still live? Let me pull up my... All right, I think it's coming back. Okay, we're back. We should be back. Man, I literally just watched my internet go to just nothing. Apparently, U.S. Customs is shutting down my internet too. There we go. Okay. All right, we should be back. We should be good now. Okay, where are we here? It looks sweet in drone shots. Yep, go with the red jacket. Yep, it does match. TLM, while not as cool as Army Green against the Snow and AK, Solar Octane is the only choice. Jeremiah, all right. I'll be looking for a Solar Octane one. Air 3 is a beast. Agreed. Let's see. East by West. You almost replaced. It's funny because that shop had they did a Sequoia frame shop, and he was showing me pictures of the whole frame swap, and that's why he knew how long it would take and how much work would be involved. And I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe if I had a 40,000 miles on it or something, like, yeah, that would make more sense, but not in this case. So, they wanted $20K for a new Toyota frame for the Sequoia. Dang. How do you like your 4Runner? Are you happy with that? I mean, Sequoia is quite a bit bigger truck, but yeah. All right. James Precious, exactly. Okay. Hey, good morning from Germany. Good evening from Alaska. TLM Outdoors, did you see your question on color grading? No, I didn't, TLM. What did you say? Where was that? Oh, any particular order you would take when color grading photos, special stuff I do, etc. So when I do any color grading on photos or video or anything, the very first thing I do is get the white balance right. Like, once the white balance is right, a lot of other stuff falls into place. And then I will start by doing like basic adjustments of like, you know, highlights and shadows, kind of get those where I want them, maybe midtones a little bit. And then I'll mess a little bit with saturation in different color spaces. Like Sony in photos leans pretty blue, so I'll always be dropping the blue down just a little bit, because otherwise like the gray rocks will look kind of bluish gray, and they should be just gray. And then I do that, and then I'll do anything like any masking I want to do, where if like I want to mask the sky, kind of like bring the highlights down so there's a little more detail in the clouds, or, you know, mask a certain area where I want to bring out a little detail of something or something like that. I do that then, and then that's kind of where I end up. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. TLM Outdoors, let me know. So, and lately I've been running everything through DxO Pure Raw because it does so much for the photos. Oh, it's gonna suck when I have to run all 2,000 photos of the A7 IV through there. That's gonna be a bummer, but whatever. It'll do it, because the DxO Pure Raw does do an incredible job of correcting distortions and noise. It really does. It's amazing what it does, and it's kind of like, I'm gonna do a video about it, but it's like kind of intangible. It's not intangible. It's just until you see it side by side, it's kind of like, well, what is it doing exactly? And then you put them side by side, and you're like, oh, that is a lot. Like it really does something. So very cool. TW, any opinions on the A7 IV? A7 V. I bought it. I'm gonna do videos on it, but I will say right now, it is a fantastic camera. If you're looking for like a really good, the mid-range hybrid camera, the A7 V is brilliant. You guys want to see? You want to see a video, photo from the Aurora? I use Lightroom right now, TLM Outdoors, but I'm also working with the DxO Photo Lab, and so I think I'm maybe switching to that. I'm trying to get away from as many subscriptions as possible, because I'm just kind of tired of subscriptions. That works. Give me a sec, because my stuff is probably going to go to crap here. Let's see, there's that. And that's the same. Not that, not that, not that. Oh, there we go. Do that one. I'm doing a very quick sort through 2,000 photos to find the ones I want to show you. These are all from the A7 V. So, and then, so the next video I'm doing is C50 gyro stabilization, but then shortly thereafter, next week or something, will be the, okay, that's it. Those. Great. great. Shortly thereafter, I'm going to do like A7 V review and test. Okay. The video should come back shortly. I know it's super low right now, but that was because of Lightroom. Okay, where did those go? Why? Hold on. Okay. I paused the syncing. That means I should be able to get this out here. See, that's what, why? Why would you do that? Anyway, this is super, super entertaining for everybody, I'm sure, watching me wonder why my computer is doing certain things. Let's see. Almost there. I promise. I'm going to just do this. So I can do this. That. Okay. Here we go. So, let's see. Oops. And this is not going to be the best thing, but it will work. So, there's that. So this was 2.5 second exposure, 1250 ISO on a 21.8 Sony G lens with the A7 V. But it just like, it looks really good. This is basically nothing. This is the raw photo straight off the camera because I haven't edited it or anything. But it looks really, really good. Same thing, same exposure, same ISO. This substorm caught me off guard, so that's why it's kind of blown out in a few spots. Like it was just like it just all of a sudden the sky exploded, and it was like, oh my gosh! And fortunately, I already had the camera pointed the right way, but I mean, look at that! Like that is zoomed way the heck in there. There's a lot of good detail in there. So I think the Sony A7 V it's a fantastic camera. I do want to do a comparison between the R6 III and the Sony A7 V. The local Stewart's, my local camera shop that I bought my cameras from, both the C50 and the A7 V, is their rental one has been booked out. So I'm waiting for that to become available, and then I will do a comparison as fast as I can. So those photos are all from time lapses, time astral lapses that I did that night that you will see in the video. And then I did do some straight up video too of the aurora that will all be in that review. But if you're wondering what, oh, not that. Like here is what it looks like from my phone. So it's rare that you can see the colors like that with your naked eye, the kind of purples and stuff. But the last two nights have been extraordinary substorms that were just like insane. Like the fact that one is moving, like it's all real-time video off my phone. It just, you don't see that very often. So when you do, it's really something special. Now, I drove 400 miles to get to this location because it was the only place that I could get to without clouds when I was monitoring the solar space weather and the sunspot cycle, and the sun threw off a huge flare, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, the wave hit Earth, and I had hours to get out there to do anything. And of course, it clouded up in Anchorage, but I was just like, screw it. I'm going out. I'm going to find this place in my 385,000 mile 4Runner, and found it. TLM Outdoors. Maybe I will do one. I'm wanting to do more of educational type content on this channel. I'm kind of tired of just doing reviews, so I'm trying to work in more story and more education. And the story videos will also have education in them. Like, I think if I remember right, I'm talking about the settings I use for photographing the aurora and stuff like that. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, hello from NorCal. What is your preferred editing software? Thoughts on Nikon ZR, good or overhyped? I think the Nikon ZR is a great little camera. Actually, Philip Bloom just put a video out about it that I haven't watched yet, but it looks like a good camera. I just haven't had a chance to use it personally, so it looks very cool. It's very promising. Having red raw on a camera that size is pretty sweet. So Tom Morehouse, your quick research says 11 orange 4Runners are for sale nationwide. Closest to you would be Colorado. I know. I started looking too, and I was like, well, crap. They're not. I don't think they made very many of them either in that color. So I was like, this might be a challenge in the next 3 months to find one that I can get. And basically my plan is like, find one, go figure out where I can get it, and go get it, and then I'll take it and park it somewhere till I can drive it up in the beginning of May. Anyway, so Crash Cartwright, why what? I'm not sure what you're asking why about. Holy crap, it was actually that bright. Yeah, well, because you set it up for the aurora, and you kind of have to give yourself some leeway, because if you're there and it's like the beginning of a substorm, or the kind of standard aurora is not that bright. But then if a huge substorm hits the atmosphere of the Earth, it can get like as bright as, or sometimes brighter than, a full moon. Like the lighting changes dramatically, and it can change dramatically in a matter of seconds. It's just, and like there was one point where I was sitting there and I'm like kind of watching the mountains, and I'm doing some photos and stuff and video clips and stuff. And I'm watching because I can see behind this one mountain is like glowing. So I'm like, there's something going on back there. It just hasn't made it to where I can see it yet. And then sure enough, it comes ripping out, I'm going to say behind the mountain just because I was so close to it. And it was just spectacular, aurora display. And because it travels from east to west as the Earth rotates and everything else. And it was spectacular. So, yeah, and I happen to get the focus right, I think, on pretty much everything, which is challenging for Sony or any autofocus lens. Getting focus nailed is challenging. But the A7 V did great, actually. I was able to, like, crank the ISO up, tap on the mountain, get it to focus on the mountain, then put it in manual mode and do a little bit of fine tweaking, and then it was good. Crash Cartwright. Yeah, it's not very often, and right now we are at the absolute apex height of solar cycle. I think we're in 25, solar cycle 25, something like that. Basically, there's like 11, 12, 13 year cycles the sun goes through with its sunspots, and so at the height of those, it's throwing off tons of, lots of flares. So there's lots of stuff coming toward the Earth and kicking off lots of aurora, and then eventually it'll die down, and we'll go through a lull where it'll be like, there'll still be aurora, it just won't be like that. But I am here for it. It's awesome. I use DxO for denoising, pre-production, direct after shooting on your Mac. Topaz denoising in post-production. Mobile device on tour, TW. That's great. Great tips. And yeah, it's typically what I do is I bring everything into DxO once I got DxO Pure Raw, run all the photos through Pure Raw because it does such a great job, and then take them into Lightroom or whatever and do editing. But I've been really impressed with the DxO Photo Lab too. So videos on those two things will be coming. So hang tight on that for those of you that are interested. awesome TLM outdoors. That's awesome, man. At least compared to using kit lens. Yeah, I mean, I do feel fortunate. I love living here. It is extremely difficult sometimes when it's really cold or really dark or really stormy or whatever. But the payoff is stuff like that, where it's just like you're sitting there going, holy crap, this is incredible. It's awesome when it is. Or like I'm walking through an ice cave and I just sit there and it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's incredible. I think that a lot, actually, when I'm out like flying over a glacier with a helicopter to work for one of the helicopter companies or whatever. And I just am like, wow, this is amazing. Walking a glacier. It's incredible. The sights you get to see. And, even though I'm working, it's amazing. I really feel blessed. And now I'm sad to say goodbye to my old 4Runner, but excited to say hello to a new one and start putting it together the way I want it to be. Suitcase Junkie, you've been on 3 different places, 3 years in a row, Fairbanks, Reykjavik, Tomaso, and you still haven't seen the Aurora? Oh, I am so sorry. That's pretty rare, actually, especially Fairbanks, because actually, Reykjavik, too. Those are really good places to see the Aurora. So, you want me to shoot you a text next time we're going to have a big substorm? Basically, watch Space Weather Live for like when the sun is putting out a lot of stuff, having lots of solar flares and stuff that have Earth directed components, coronal mass ejections is what they call them. And then, just book yourself a flight up to Alaska when you see a big one that's going to hit Earth. you get about 24 to 48 hours notice. I wish we were better at predicting what the sun is going to do than that. But so this is the other thing. That Aurora storm, which lasted 2 nights basically here and kind of around the world, the sun, it was a X 1.9 class X flare. In there's like 5 or 10 seconds or something like that. It was a very short amount of time. The sun unleashed what would take the U.S. at our current power generating capacity 10,000 years to generate. The same power that the sun unleashed in 10 seconds. Like, it's kind of mind-boggling. It's pretty wild. Any reason, Adam Boynton, any reason to switch from the A7R5 to an A7 V? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't. I think you're not going to gain much from the A7 5. Yeah, we're on 5. I mean, yeah, some small improvements here and there, but honestly, the A7R5 is a great camera. I would stick with it, unless you're tired of working with that size megapixels. Crash Cartwright, you came in when I was saying why. I was asking what it was about. Too much delay in an R6 Mark II and Consi. Oh, why? I don't know what I was saying then. But to sum up, my 2007 4Runner that I was hoping to drive to 500,000 miles is not going to make it to 500,000 miles because it has some pretty serious rust on the frame. I'm in the market for a new 4Runner, aka a 2023 Solera Orange. What was that? Was that what it was called? What did I call that one? Sorry, Solar Octane Orange 4Runner 2023 with the lowest miles I can find to then purchase and drive up to Alaska and start to build it out to be my next 4Runner rig for the next 20 years that I'll probably drive it. See if I can get that one to 500,000 miles. But yeah, so it's bittersweet on that, but yeah. So I don't know if that was it. Considering getting a 200 to 800 lens, any experience with it? No experience personally. From what I've heard, it's a pretty sweet lens though, especially if you want to do wildlife stuff. It sounds like it's pretty great. Cartwright, you have the 200 to 800 Canon. You like it, Paul? Dang, I'm a little jealous there. That's a nice lens. Sounds good. TW, what about the 400 to 800G? It's not as heavy as the Sigma 300 to 600. Very sharp, and the AF seems amazing, even 120 frames a second. So again, I haven't used that lens personally. From friends that I know that have, and from other people I know that have it, say it's a really fantastic lens. So, yeah. Sigfus, what time is it? Oh, I got to go. So I'll wrap up these questions and then, yeah. Anyway, would you go through the extra hassle of D-Log M over D-Log for the extra dynamic range? Sigfus. So I have been shooting in D-Log M more on the Mavic 4 and Air 3S. Well, the Air 3S doesn't matter. Mavic 4, because of some of the high dynamic range scenes that I shoot in. But otherwise, I still prefer D-Log to color grade in, to do heavy color grading, because it just is. Well, one, yeah, that's what I prefer. So, but I have been shooting in D-Log M a lot more especially when I know I'm going to be in high dynamic range environments, because it does make a difference. But I prefer the look of D-Log, the standard D-Log. Had 300 and some change on your 2001 Tahoe. Dang, Suitcase Junkie. That's impressive. Nice. Like, anytime anybody gets over 250, it's like, hats off, man. That's an achievement. It's pretty good. David Martin Graff. Have I tested the Inspire 3 compared to the Mavic 4? I have. I'm so glad you asked. I have, and I did a video about it. I'm going to link it to you here in just a second as soon as I can get the link. When did I do that? There it is. So, and I say some stuff in the video that's for the video, but you can see all the footage side by side and stuff like that. Bottom line is, the Inspire 3 is significantly better. I would hope so, considering it's like 10 times the price. But honestly, the Mavic 4 fares incredibly well for its size and price. Mavic 4 is an impressive little drone. So, yeah. Anyway, but enjoy that video, David. I hope you enjoy it. I do both video and photo comparisons in that, and then I break down, like, physical differences and all that kind of stuff too. So, anyway, all right. I should be streaming same time, same place next week. Maybe I'll do a stream outside if the weather is cooperative. 28th, what's going on there? Yeah. So, but in the meantime, like, the next video you'll see coming out is going to be the Canon C50 with the stabilization, the gyro stabilization, and talking a little bit about that. And should I include a part in that video about why Canon doesn't put IBIS, internal stabilization, in their cinema cameras? Would you be interested in understanding that reasoning? Or do you care? Do you just want to see, like, me put this on an FPV drone and try and crash it? Yeah. You let me know. But other than that, it sounds like most people are voting for the Solar Octane Orange 4Runner, that I should probably try and get one of those, so it kind of matches my branding of my orange jacket. And shortly after I put the video out about the C50 stabilization stuff, I will be putting a video out about the astrophotography / low light capabilities of the A7 IV. So if you're interested in that, that is coming as well. And I'm trying to put all of these videos into more of a story format with other good information in there too. So hopefully you enjoy that. This year will be a little bit of an year of experimentation on the channel, and we'll see how that goes over time. But in the meantime, thank you all for being part of this channel, and thanks for hanging out with me here tonight. Hope you enjoyed me talking about my 4Runner woes and stuff. And thanks for asking your questions. I will see you again soon in the next one. Till then, be safe, be smart, everybody. Cheers.